Am I overreacting for reconsidering my entire relationship after a single conversation? I, 33 male, have been with my girlfriend, 31 female, for 12 years. Last night we had an argument about one of my friends. This is not a new friend. I met her a year ago through a food drive that my church held and have mentioned her name. Granted, her name is much more common amongst men. For argument's sake, her name is Charlie. Pretty regularly over the year. Last night, I mentioned Charlie and that she was going to head round on Sunday morning to pick me up for church. My girlfriend is atheist, because our car is in the shop. My girlfriend hit the roof, going on about how this was not okay, that she's probably just trying to get me to cheat on her. I was genuinely stunned. Firstly, because I find it incredibly hard to believe that in a year, I've never mentioned that Charlie's a woman. Secondly, when did this become an issue? My girlfriend plays a social sport. The sport she plays is primarily played by men, so the club she plays for has 1 women's team and 4 men's teams. Saturday nights after they play, they all head to the club rooms and get drunk. She has friends that play on the men's team, and I've never had an issue with those relationships. I had this moment while I was lying in bed last night that this isn't the first time something like this has happened. Not to the level that she got to last night, but I've lost friends over the years because she's put an idea in my head about them, so I drifted away. Even right at the start of our relationship, I was adamant that I wanted to embark on a military career. Within 3 months, I'd pulled my application because she didn't like the thought of me being in a barracks at basic training with maybe 3 women. Controlling is the only word that comes to mind. Am I overreacting that within 24 hours of this blow-up, I'm ready to walk away completely? Edits. Well, that escalated. Thanks for everyone's inputs. I'll add some context for people here. The not married thing. She hates the idea of marriage because she doesn't believe a woman can just be given away from one man to another. I have no issues with this. People saying I admitted that Charlie was female to hide it? I went back through my texts with my girlfriend. There are multiple times I've mentioned Charlie as a woman. The first one I can find is December 10th, 2023. My girlfriend asked me who's going to a planned church lunch, and I said, Michael and Alex are coming, they got a sitter for Noah last minute. Charlie can't, she's doing the food drive with the new guys. Still haven't heard from Seb and Liam. She's known Charlie's a woman for 9 months. I'm not a devout Christian. My faith is important to me, but my church work is mainly to help the community. OK Analyst 5801 says, it's not the blow-up that caused you wanting to leave. The blow-up made you look back and notice a series of situations that have caused you to look at your relationship and her differently. Now that you've noticed it, it's hard to unsee this behavior. You should talk to her first. Bring up all the situations where you have had to give up friends and the situations where she hasn't, and make it clear that you need this to change. Her reaction will point you in the direction that you need to go. Thank you. Really good advice. The thing is, since I posted, I've basically gone through everything that's happened in our lives. There are literally hundreds of these little situations where I wanted to do something and she would put a bad idea in my head about it, so I wouldn't go through with it. I feel like I've missed out on so much stuff I wanted to do. Traveling being a big one too. I've always wanted to go see the world, but she didn't, so I haven't. Yet. GCOT802 says, while it's not impossible that she's projecting, I do want to offer another perspective. You are Christian and she is an atheist. This is a huge divide on something central to your lives. She might be pretty insecure about not being able to connect with you in that way, and the idea that another woman can, and you are close enough that she picks you up and gives you rides, could have her head in a messed up place. It might be less about Charlie being a woman, and more that she is a Christian woman that can relate to you in a way that your girlfriend cannot. Don't break up after one conversation, have a bunch of conversations, and then decide if you want to break up. I agree with that. I do think keep in mind that she has been socially isolating you. She has been making you not do things that you want to do. Those are things that I think should weigh heavy on your mind. They should be driving your decisions. They should be driving those conversations. Like, I want to get to the bottom of this. Why are you so controlling? Why are you the way you are? And why now am I being forced to let go of another friend for you? I'm getting serious abusive red flags from your girlfriend. It's really not fair that she is doing this to you. You really do deserve answers, and I agree that has to be done over a bunch of conversations, not just one ultimative conversation. And now, onto the update. Never expected my post to blow up the way that it did. To those who took the time to give constructive advice, thank you. To those who create imaginary situations in their own heads to justify their position, you guys are weird. The last week has been nothing short of chaos. On Sunday morning, last week, I told my girlfriend that I wouldn't be getting a ride to church with Charlie, but that we needed to talk when I got back. Sat in church, just thinking about everything that had been flooding into my head for the 36 hours prior and what I needed to do. I sat down with her when I got home and started talking about how her reaction to a very simple thing that had no ulterior motives and was just a friend being helpful had set off a chain reaction that was making me reconsider our relationship. I explained, in excruciating detail, all of the little things that I had not pursued, the friends I'd lost, because of her insecurities and constant guilt-tripping. She cried and tried to guilt me even more by saying that my relationship with Charlie was hurting her because my girlfriend can't have kids when Charlie can, even though I've never expressed interest in having children. What? That's so insane. Oh my god. I finally see through her lies and deception. It's all a smokescreen to keep me in check. I left her. I've been crashing on a friend's couch for the last week, not Charlie's. I've wanted to go see the world for as long as I can remember. I'm finally getting started. I got myself a one-way ticket to London, fly out in a week. See where I end up. P.S. I was never interested in Charlie. She is a friend and nothing more. Hill Mickelson says, "Dude, you did well leaving that toxic relationship, but for your own good, get tested for STDs. Her accusation of you cheating could just be her projecting. She basically believed that you were cheating on her because that's what she was doing to you. Also, you might want to start therapy to stop being such a people pleaser and learn how to value yourself and put yourself first." OP says, "Yeah, I did the STD panel during the week. Clean. If she was cheating, I've made the right choice, but I don't care if she was. I'm free of her." And that's good to know, OP. Thank you for standing up for yourself. Thank you for not being a people pleaser any longer. I love to see that, and I would hope that we are all glad to see that. If you're listening and not glad to see it, please let me know why in the comments down below. I'm curious. Obviously, noticing signs of abuse from people like OP's girlfriend, it can be hard. It can be hard to identify that sometimes, and I think it's great that OP came to an objective third party. I mean, as objective and bias-free as Reddit can really get, but glad that he got the help that he needed and he got out of there, and now he's going to see the world. Fantastic news. I hope London is fun. Thanks for sharing the story. I'd love to know what everyone else has to think of this one down below. Our next post is by user MountainLove1926, and it's titled, "Am I the asshole for wanting to see my wife give birth to our daughter instead of being grossed out? Me, 24 male, and my wife, 27 female, have been married since mid-2023. She's pregnant with our first child. Her due date is tomorrow. Throughout her pregnancy until the weekend before last, she's been vague about her not wanting me to be in the delivery room. She wants her sister, 31 female, there. With the last few months, I've watched videos of women giving birth. It doesn't weird me out. It seems nice to see, the beginning of life. So with that, the weekend before last, I asked my wife if she's sure that she doesn't want me in the delivery room. She got upset with me. She said that it's going to be embarrassing for her, that she's going to poop on the table, people will see her body, and that she'll be sweating. She said she's doing me a favor by not letting me see all that. She said I'm either lying that I want to see all of that, or I'm some kind of sick freak. Whoa, that's a bit crazy to say about your husband. Where's this all coming from? He can't be a compassionate person? What's going on? She said no normal husband really wants to see the birthing process, that normal husbands want to see their baby and wife after both get cleaned up. I took no as an answer, but she's still upset that I even asked. I know she's sensitive about her pregnancy weight gain and her pregnancy looks in general. I'm new to this, so I don't know. Do fathers usually want to see the birthing process? Am I a sick freak that I legitimately want to see? Was I weird for asking to see? And am I the arsehole? Eternal Thursday 1976 says, "Nah, it's really difficult for some women to lose control over their bodies and privacy. You obviously are a thoughtful husband and are certainly not an asshole. And while sick freak was a bit over the top, she is under a lot of stress right now." OP replies, "I think she looks more beautiful now than she did before. I've never told her that because I don't think she'll believe me. She doesn't believe me when I simply just tell her that I think she looks beautiful. She has definitely lost control over her body during all of this. She has pregnancy acne and a pregnancy nose. She has gained over 40 pounds, she is gassy, and I feel bad that she thinks she's ugly and gross. I know women are under a lot of pressure by the media to look a certain way. I will not pressure her. I will try my best to avoid adding stress to her. She is so close to doing one of the most stressful things a human being can do. She doesn't need to worry about anything else. I want her to know that I love her, I appreciate her, I will support her, and I think that she's beautiful as she is. Maybe my wife needs therapy, maybe I need to try harder. Whatever it takes, I'll be there for her." Emotional Hair 1607 says, "Tell her what you just wrote. I think she looks more beautiful now than she did before. I have never told her that because I don't think she'll believe me. She doesn't believe me when I just simply tell her that I think she looks beautiful." OP says, "I can try after she delivers our daughter. If my wife hasn't believed my compliments the past few months, I wouldn't expect her to believe me on the day before her due date." Nonconformist Flamingo says, "Be advised that unless she is having a scheduled C-section or induction, the odds of the baby actually coming on the due date are pretty dicey. Most babies tend to overstay their welcome." Yeah, like me, I was a bit of an overcooked bun in the oven. That's why I am the way I am these days. Reddit YouTube extraordinaire, huh? Wouldn't have picked it. But yeah, I mean, am I wrong to say therapy for you two? Like, please go to a couples therapist to talk about this. Or at least please breach this with a third-party friend that isn't emotionally attached to the both of you, but that both of you trust, I guess. Hard one, because, you want your wife to accept your compliments, do you not? You want your wife to trust you. You want her to love you. And if she doesn't trust your word and then says that you're a sick freak for wanting to see the birth, like, where is the love? Where is the why did you even get married to him then? If you don't believe him, why did you get married to him? She needs some help reorganizing whatever reality she's living in right now, because she's obviously not coping well with her life. Honestly, if I had a wife and she said those things about me, I would be really hurt. I'd be really upset as the husband. Not the asshole OP, absolutely not. And now, onto the update. So this is one of the happiest updates in Reddit history. My sister-in-law and I were alerted when my wife had apparently felt some pain. My wife was so sure that she wasn't in labor, but my sister-in-law and I were cautiously optimistic. We promised my wife that if it was a false alarm, we would buy her cheesecake. At the hospital, my wife talked to her favorite doctor, 42 female. My wife seemed so shocked when the doc said that it was labor. My wife actually wanted both me and her sister to be with her. The labor and birth was smoother than even my most hopeful mental image of how this would be. It was fast, there were no complications. It seems like our daughter was determined to come out before the due date. My wife allowed both me and my sister-in-law to help. I saw everything. I saw our daughter for the first time. This tiny, wrinkled, weird-looking thing is beautiful. My wife looked so happy. It felt like me and her were us again. I told her how beautiful, wonderful, strong, brave, and motherly that she was. She actually accepted that compliment. She decided to name our daughter after her sister. Despite how smooth and amazing the labor and birth were, I will still look out for PPD. I will still encourage my wife to seek therapy, given how intense her body image issues were from month 3 of pregnancy. I hope she will accept couples counseling. I do understand that her intense happiness at the birth doesn't mean that she will continue to be this happy. This was the most love I ever felt for her. What she did was amazing. I'm so glad that she had actually trusted me to see that. I love our daughter so much, more than I thought I could love anyone. My wife is now second place, but I still obviously love her very much. I couldn't ask for more. Waste Ad 5565 says, quote, "My wife is now second place, but obviously I still love her very much. I couldn't ask for more." First, congrats. However, this part is important. Right now, obviously the baby is priority number 1, and should be, but don't stop dating your wife. Once she's feeling up to it, resume date nights. Don't stop bringing home random "I saw this and thought of you" gifts. Bring her random flower bouquets. I say this because you will raise your daughter, and if you do it right, she'll leave and go on to live her own life, and your wife will still be there. She's supposed to be your forever, and it's a tragic thing when you become empty nesters or all of your kids are independent teens, and you realize you don't know your spouse anymore because you put all of your time and energy into being a parent, and you forgot to be a partner. You obviously love your wife very much, and I know you don't want that as your future, so try to figure out how to be an awesome parent and partner so you can keep building bonds with your wife too. Absolutely. I'll give it the grace that I think it deserves, that, it doesn't mean that you're going to stop dating your wife, but please don't stop dating your wife. Please be aware of your actions and consciously get back into those habits. We unfortunately do see stories of people that eventually fall out of love with their partner because they take on the role of mum and dad, housekeeper, more than they do, hey, I'm still in a romantic partnership with this other person and I need to continue maintaining that. And that takes a lot of work. And that goes for you too, dear listener. If you haven't been maintaining it, get back to that maintenance schedule, okay? It's important. Thank you for the story, OP. That was a lovely update, and I hope that things continue to go well. I'd love to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Let me know. Our next post is by user Mundane Alarm 5684, titled, "Am I the asshole for blocking my childhood best friend after she tried to make me pay for the catering at her son's first birthday?" So here's the thing. Me, 28 female, and Anna, 28 female, have been best friends since forever. Like, we grew up together, went through school, first breakups, everything. Naturally, when she had her baby, I was thrilled for her. I even helped plan the baby shower and got super involved in her life as a new mum. But recently, things have gotten weird. Anna's son turned 1 last weekend, and she wanted to throw a huge party. I'm talking over the top. Rented venue, professional catering, decorations, the whole shebang. Now, I thought we were just going to have a nice little family and friends thing, but nope. Anna had a vision. Fine, no biggie. I figured she could do whatever made her happy for her son's big day. Fast forward to a week before the party, Anna starts hinting that she's a little stressed about costs and how tight things are right now. I get it, having a baby is expensive, but she kept bringing it up in every conversation. I offered to help with decorations or pick up some snacks, but she waved it off, saying that she had everything under control. The day of the party comes, and it's chaos. Balloons everywhere, a bouncy house, tons of people I didn't even know. I show up early to help set up, and Anna is running around like a headless chook. Then, as we're putting out the decorations, she casually says, "Oh, by the way, I put the catering on your card." Excuse me? I hadn't even seen a catering bill, let alone agreed to pay for one, and I say, what do you mean you put it on my card? I asked, trying to stay calm. She looked at me like I was being dramatic and goes, yeah, I've been struggling. I figured you wouldn't mind covering it, and I'll pay you back later. Excuse me? First of all, I never once said that she could use my card. And second, I had no clue how much this catering even cost. When I asked, she shrugged and said, only about $500. It's not a big deal. 500? For food that I didn't even order or agree to pay for. I told her no way. I wasn't paying for something she never asked permission for, and frankly, I didn't have that kind of money just lying around. She acted all shocked and hurt, saying I was being selfish and how it was her son's first birthday, as if I'm supposed to go into debt for a party that I didn't even throw. We had a massive argument in front of some of her other friends, and I ended up leaving early. Later that night, she blew up my phone with texts saying that I ruined her son's day, that I was being a terrible friend, and how I didn't understand how hard things are for her right now. I just couldn't believe the audacity. After everything, I blocked her. I couldn't deal with the guilt tripping, especially over something so ridiculous. Now some mutual friends have reached out, saying I was being too harsh, and that I should have just helped her out because she is struggling. I feel like she's crossed a line. You don't just throw someone else's money into your plans without asking them, right? So am I the asshole for blocking her, or did I overreact? Edits. To everyone asking why she has access to my card, it's still a question to me. Maybe she went through my things when I visited her to help babysit her son for a day before his birthday. On how she did it, I don't know. But I already filed a dispute with my bank about the charge. I will be checking my card to see if there are any other things that she purchased using my card. I really can't imagine that she could do this to me. Throwaway 4/20/2021 says, not the asshole. The audacity of some people. Quick question, why would your friend have your card to begin with? That struck me as odd. OP replies, that is the question I was asking myself as well. I was so caught up in the moment that it didn't hit me on how she had access to my card number. I think a trip to the credit bureaus is in order. OK Try says, not the asshole. She stole from you. Stole from you. There is no good reason for this behavior. Dispute the charges with your credit card company. Tell them that your friend used your card by mistake. She is not struggling. Struggling is working and still not being able to save or cover living expenses. The party was for her, not a 1-year-old baby boy. I'm glad you cut her off. If anyone asks you about it, tell them the truth. She stole $500 from me to pay for the catering at her 1-year-old's birthday party. If she gets blowback, it is not your problem. She shouldn't have done the thing that would cause her embarrassment if she didn't want to be humiliated. Don't further enable her by making up a more palatable version. I'm sorry your friend betrayed you like this. Nothing about her behavior is normal. Absolutely. She stole from you to pay for her own party, and then she's trying to guilt trip you and downplay just how bad the situation is. Oh, it's only $500 that I myself couldn't afford. How about I steal $500 from you in your situation and see how you react, OP's friend? I don't think you're going to be so kind and nonchalant when that happens. I think you're going to lose your goddamn mind. She doesn't get to decide how much $500 is valued to you. Because what if you value that more than she does? And you lose your goddamn mind at her, more so than she would if you did it to her. I don't think she thought this one through, and I think that she thought you would be a sucker. Let's not let that happen, OP. Not the asshole. She deserves to be blocked. And now, onto the updates. I never expected this to blow up. Thank you all for your advice. I have filed a dispute with my credit card company. I also told her parents about the incident, and they were shocked by her behavior. They said they would talk to her. I figured they already did because after I told them what happened, she stormed over to my house, ranting about why I was making such a big deal by telling her parents and reminding me that we've been best friends who literally grew up together. I explained where she went wrong, but instead of taking accountability, she accused me of being selfish. She clearly isn't in the right mind. I don't know if she's experiencing postpartum issues, but I'm not going to tolerate this kind of treatment. I also told her that if she didn't stop harassing me over a problem that she created, I will file a restraining order. As for the money she used, I've decided to follow your advice and press charges, so she can hopefully learn her lesson. For those doubting if this story is real, I wish it wasn't. Not only was my trust shattered, but so was my heart. Toxic Ray of Sunshine says, your ex-friend sounds entitled AF. You may want to seriously consider cancelling the card that she used and getting a new one instead. I know it's a pain, but you never know if she'll use it again to be petty. You're still not the asshole, but it sounds like you could use some better friends. And now onto the latest updates. Hi everyone, this is part 3 of the story. I really appreciate all of your kind words. I've already sorted out everything with my bank, and they told me the process would be 7 to 10 business days. I also requested a change of credit card because I don't know if she still has access to my card. She's been trying to prove a point on how I'm a bad friend to her. I changed all my locks because she has a key to my house, as she was my childhood best friend after all, and shared almost everything with her. My siblings and parents all went to my house after they heard what happened, just to keep an eye on me. I'm now considering moving to another city because of what happened. Some of our mutual friends also apologized to me for defending her. Apparently, she told our friends that the catering was my idea and that she only spent $100 for it using my card. They didn't know that it was $500 until one of them saw the post on Reddit. Anna also saw the post and went berserk because she said I was ruining her image when I didn't even mention her full name, and there are literally millions of Annas in the world. And for everyone asking on how she got a hold of my card, like I said in my previous post, I was asking myself the same question. It might be that she was snooping through my things while I wasn't paying attention. It might be when I was babysitting for her so she could get some rest. I really don't know. And she won't say as to how she got my credit card as well, because she felt like she doesn't have to explain anything because we are best friends. I don't have to explain myself. I'm going to stab you to death, and I don't have to explain why I'm doing it because we're best friends. You can forgive me for anything. Absolutely delusional. Anyways, this will be the last time that I'll post about this on Reddit, as I'll be taking this to court since things already got out of hand, and it resulted in her threatening me. I never expected that our 20+ years of friendship would end like this. My heart is broken, and my mental health is unstable right now, and she's one of the reasons why. Thank you again, everyone, for all of your kind words and advice. She won't stop on proving her point, so I filed a restraining order. My siblings and parents are also doing their utmost best to help me get through this. In the comments, OP, I'm so glad you pressed charges. Even if she's experiencing mental health issues due to the pregnancy, this needs to be addressed. At least now everyone around her is aware that something is wrong and can try to help her. I also wondered if this is a post-pregnancy thing or an aspect of her personality that she was just better at hiding during the friendship. OP, have you done a thorough check of your credit and accounts since finding out about the theft? I would recommend it. There's the possibility that her theft was smaller and you weren't looking for it. Have other friends do the same. And OP says, yes, I've looked through my credit accounts with TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. I also checked with my credit card company if any other charges were made without my knowledge. So far, it was only the catering. It was maybe her first time using my card without my consent. I have let her use my card before, especially with baby essentials. I'm maybe at fault for spoiling her as well. She must have gotten used to me giving her some free stuff. Someone replies to OP and says, it's probably not a good idea to go to court over $500. You filed the dispute with your bank, all of the friends and family know, the damage is done. The reason why it's not a good idea is because even if you get a judgment, which will consume your time to follow through with the dates to go, it'll be an even lengthier process to actually get the payment. Time is money, and it will certainly not be worth the time, even if it is to teach her more of a lesson than that of which she is already learning. And OP replies, no, I'm filing a case because of the $500. I already filed a dispute for that. She started threatening me and even broke one of my windows, so I had to file a restraining order. But even with the restraining order, things still got out of hand. So heartbreaking as it is, I have to take action. Oh my god, she broke one of your windows? No wonder you're going to go to court over this. How dare you make me pay for my birthday party? I'm going to come break into your house and destroy it because you're ruining my reputation with my crazy actions. How dare you expose me? We're supposed to be best friends. What an absolute psychopath. I don't blame you at all, OP, for getting legal action done. That should be mandatory in this case. You need to protect yourself and do something to get her the hell away from you. Honestly, I hope all goes well with that. Doesn't sound like a fun time. Good luck, and thank you for sharing your story with us. I'd love to know what you guys have to think of this one down below. Let me know. And that's where I'm going to end today's episode, guys. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below. And also follow my new channel, Marky Facts, if you love random facts in YouTube Shorts. Link should be on the screen here with one of the videos. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.